Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Selenium interview questions. That is, what are the different types of UI elements which can have the input as a HTML tag? Let me answer. There are several types of UI elements in HTML which have this input as their HTML tag. So let me practically demonstrate each and every type of element that generally has this input HTML tag in this HTML code. Okay. So for that, I'll just go to this Notepad++ or whatever, no, even simple Notepad also you can open and write this basic structure HTML. And now I'm going to show you how the text box field will have this tag name as input tag. Okay. So if you want to create a text box field, okay, for now, this demo2.html file doesn't have any elements on the UI because body section is empty. So I'll just go to one location in my machine where I have saved this demo2.html file. I'll open this. Just observe this. You see, the body is empty. You don't have any UI element on this page, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this HTML file here by creating an input tag. Okay. I'm trying to create a text box field. So for the text box field, what is the tag? HTML tag is input tag. Okay. Type is text. If you say type is text, then what happens is this will become a text box field. Okay. For the input tag, if you give the type attribute as value as text, it will become a text box field. Okay. So I'll just give something like username. Okay. Username text box field. After that, I'll simply say br/ or whatever it is to go to the next line. And now I'm going to create a password field. Even password field UI element also has the input tag. If you want to create a password field, for that also, you have to create an input tag. And type will be different. Here, type was text for text box field, right? For password field, type will be password. Whatever the text you type into the password field, that will not be visible. Okay, that's the only difference between the text box field and password field. But if you type the text into the text box field, it will be visible, but in the password field, it will not be visible. Now let's go to the next line again. Now here I'll simply give a label like password so that we can understand. Then next one is radio button. Okay, let's create a radio button. How to create a radio button? Again, radio button UI element also need to be created with the same input tag. Type will be radio. That's it. Okay, type will be radio. Flash and here give some label. Let's give the radio button label as some color. Let's say blue color. Okay, that's okay. Then let's create one more UI element, that is checkbox field. To create the checkbox field UI element, again, we have to use the same input tag. Type is equal to, here I need to give the type as checkbox. Here tag name is same for all these UI elements, but type is differing. You see text, password, radio, checkbox like that. Here I'll give the something like car or something, okay, as the label. Some sample examples I'm giving, that's it. Okay, and then again, we have to go to the new line. For going to the new line, I'll just say br/ every time. Otherwise, it will stay in the same line for all the elements. Now, to create a button also, we can use the input tag. Input type is equal to button. And to get the label of the button, we have to give value. And I have to say, let's say login button slash. And I'll keep this login button here. That will be more better. Under the username password, login button will be there. Fine. Then we have submit button. Submit button is generally used inside the forms. Even reset button is also generally used inside the forms. Okay. So, but how to create a submit button? Input type is equal to, we have to say submit. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Input type is equal to submit. That will create the submit button. And if you want to create a reset button, again the same thing. Input type is equal to reset you have to give. Type will differ for each and every type of element. Okay, like this you can create different type of UI elements using the same input tag. Okay, now I'll save this and refresh this so that you'll get all the elements. You see, username, text box field came. We were able to create the text box field with the help of input tag. Password field. Okay, if you type something, it will be visible. In the password field, whatever you type, it will not be visible. But we have to use input tag to create the password field. You see, there is a login button. To create the login button also, or whatever the button also, we have to use input tag. Then radio button, we have used input tag. Then checkbox field, input tag. Then submit button, here also input tag. Then reset button, here also input tag. These are the different varieties of UI elements, okay, which need to be created with the help of HTML input tag, okay. So which need to be created with the use of HTML input, this input tag, okay. So hope guys you got the answer for this question. If you get this kind of question in the interviews, you can mention all these different UI elements which can be created with the help of HTML input tag in HTML. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye.